welcome back to the Prodi Academy YouTube channel. I'm Michelle, and in today's video we're going to be discussing tips on how you can improve your accounts receivable process. Now, your accounts receivable is essentially a list of all the money your clients or customers owe you. And while retailers typically receive payment for the goods that they sell to their customers when their customers purchase them, this isn't always true. Companies that provide services often don't receive full payments when these services are rendered. Instead, they will invoice their clients. Now, this creates a period when you've already supplied the goods or provided the services, but you are still waiting for the money. You know the money is coming, but you don't have it yet. So keeping track of your accounts receivable gives you an idea of how much money you will have to spend soon, as well as which clients owe you the money. Many new business owners aren't experienced with dealing with accounts receivable, and that's because individuals rarely have any outstanding income. Tracking your accounts receivable, though, is absolutely vital when it comes to making important business decisions. And looking through a few ways that you can improve your accounts receivable process will help you leverage your money so that you don't overspend. Why wait until the end of the month or quarter or other period of time before you send out an invoice? If you've got an agreement with a recurring client that you will invoice them at specific periods of time, then this will be different. But if you don't have such an agreement in place, you can invoice as soon as you've provided the customer with the goods or the services. So invoicing quickly puts your bill on that client's radar. And while some may wait until the first of the month before they make payment, others may pay the invoice as soon as they receive it. And that means that you get your money much faster. If possible, send out invoices at least weekly or a couple of times a week. You may even be able to prepare and send out invoices at the end of every day. The bottom line is the faster you invoice, the faster you start the clock, and the faster you get paid. If possible, switch from an invoicing model to a prepayment model. Your clients will pay you when they place the order or when they come in for the services, rather than paying you once they receive the invoice. Some customers, especially individuals, may be on board with this, but if you are providing goods and services to another business, they may insist on being invoiced first and paying you later. That's because they may have the same issue. Their cash is tied up in accounts receivable, and they simply cannot pay you until their clients have paid them. Smaller businesses that haven't fully moved to an accounts payable, accounts receivable accounting method are most likely to agree with prepaying at the time of the service. Medium to large businesses may not be so agreeable, and you may be able to work on a prepayment model while you have a smaller business, but as you grow and begin to take on bigger clients, you may need to switch to invoicing and accounts receivable. If you have regular clients who have you on retainer or who have subscribed to a specific monthly plan, you may want to consider offering automatic billing. Now, many payment processors have implemented this option, and instead of invoicing and waiting for the client to pay, the client provides their banking details and opts in to auto billing. Rather than invoicing the client, you may make a payment request through the processor, and that processor automatically debits the client's account and transfers the money to you. The advantage here is that you get paid almost immediately. You don't have to wait for the client to process your invoice and release payment. Now, this is a much faster way of invoicing, so you aren't waiting weeks or even months for your money. You may have to pay a small fee to the payment processor, but this fee is typically very low and won't impact your profit margins by much. You may have to do a little extra work because your clients will likely still want to receive their invoice, so you'll still have to prepare it and send it to them, in addition to submitting the monthly payment requests. However, getting your money in quicker far outweighs the small amount of extra work that you're taking on in this regard. While using auto billing may create a little extra work, you can implement certain accounting software that can reduce the work and actually create a net gain for you. So this software can be set up to do tasks such as automatically preparing invoices when it comes to recurring charges. So if you have clients that subscribe to your services every month, the software will be able to create the invoice for you and you won't need to do it manually. The software will do it for you, and all you'll need to do is send the invoice out. And you may not even have to do that, because some programs can interface with your email and send out invoices, payment reminders, and other messages automatically. If you have most of your clients or all of your clients on a recurring subscription or a retainer, investing in an accounting software with these features can essentially eliminate the need for you to prepare invoices. Everything can be done automatically, and you may even find software that works with your payment processor, so you don't even have to submit payment requests. The more automated your system is, the less time you have to spend doing these tasks. By moving to a prepayment model or by enabling automatic drafts, you will be in a better position to avoid having to deal with clients who don't pay their invoices in a timely manner. Now, sometimes this can truly be a case of the client just forgetting to pay the invoice or having some emergency come up. In these instances, a reminder email is usually enough to get them to pay. And if they're still late following this, you can contact them telephonically. Now, with all of this said, you may also get a client who just dodges your attempts to communicate and goes months without paying their invoices. When this arises, you've got two options at hand. You can either write off the amount as a loss and blacklist that client, or if it's a significant amount, you can employ a debt collection agency to attempt to recover at least some of these funds. You may also even sell off some debt immediately, or sell off some debt in order to immediately recover some of the costs that you've incurred. But either way, it's best to remember that you're not going to make any money when a client doesn't pay. At best, you'll break even, or you will take a small loss. Now, because of this, it's a good idea to encourage clients to sign up for auto drafts. Now, some businesses even offer a small discount or other benefits to clients who do so. And even if you don't, you can point out that auto drafts benefits the customer as well. If you are invoicing on a monthly basis, you can allow them to set the date that the payment is processed, so that they always know when the payment is going to happen. They also don't have to do anything to initiate the payment, so even if they forget, the payment will still go through. This way, they avoid any late fees or other costs. By better leveraging your accounts receivable, you'll be able to avoid the temptation of making purchases on credit. Now, many businesses, especially new businesses, do tend to make high use of credit. Now, once your accounts receivable is automated and you've got more cash on hand, you'll want to make smart decisions regarding your credit. Ideally, you'll begin to reduce your debt, and while you may need to make use of it for those large or unexpected purchases, you do want to do your best to reduce your reliance on it. And when you do have to dip into your credit, you should now be able to more quickly pay that debt off. You may also want to use your stronger cash flow to reduce any high interest debt you may have. The fewer items on the fewer claims on your cash that you have, the better you can leverage your income to grow your business. As always, we trust you found this video insightful, and should you have any thoughts, comments, or suggestions for future content that you'd like to see, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below. Please also join us on our social media platforms such as LinkedIn and Facebook, or at our website at proteafinancial.com. Protea Academy, striving to achieve better accounting for everyone.